Hi everyone, I'm George Jackson with GovExec TV. Today's 5 questions are with Megan Battaglia, VP of Marketing at ThunderCat. Ma'am, good to see you.
Good to see you.
So kick us off here. How do you navigate what's really a unique set of challenges marketing to the public sector? There's services, there's initiatives, there's complex regulations. I mean, to me, as an outsider, it sounds like a perfect storm, Megan.
For the most part, I would say diversification with things that we're doing in marketing. I mean, as some may know, with government marketing, the regulations on how many things you can buy for a government customer or different events you can do face-to-face and things that you can't do face-to-face. So we try to kind of spread the wealth between digital marketing campaigns, live events, anywhere where our customers are going to be that they're allowed to be. We want to be there as well so we can have those face-to-face interactions. And at ThunderCat, we have a very strong trade show and event presence. We try to kind of diversify amongst DoD, civilian, and Intel, amongst all those kind of sectors, as well as state and local. And I think with state and local, it's easier to kind of get in front of the different levels of buyers that we need to.
Yeah.
So we kind of try to spread it through there. And then we kind of follow up all of those live events with digital campaigns around the same types of topics. We do advertising so that we can hit the buyer when they're not in government mode and they're driving home from work or they're going to a Caps game. And we do a lot of different advertising kind of around the area so we can hit different points where we don't have to be focusing on them as the government buyer, but just as a person. So when they hear our name, they can associate it with a lot of different things.
Sure. Pull one out of that list of potentials, like brag on yourself. Give me a case study in a campaign that went right.
So I think one of the ones that worked for us was actually during the pandemic, and it was probably like 2021 when we were in the thick of virtual events. We did a live webinar focusing around RPA, which is robotic processing automation. It was when AI really started to become that hot topic back in 2021. And we did a half-day live event focusing on our state and local customers in the state of Virginia. So we did a live event. We followed that up with an appointment setting campaign to kind of nurture the attendees that were there. We wanted to communicate with them afterwards. And we ended up setting at least 20 meetings from that and around $800,000 in revenue for our Virginia customers. So we were able to tie back from the event to the follow-up campaign to actual pipeline for marketing, which I know is hard for government marketing. A lot of times is showing that pipeline. So I would say that was one of our pretty successful ones. And state and local is very good, easier for us to kind of get the right customers and the right events. Federal is a little bit more difficult, so we're still working on that, but I think that was one of the pretty good campaigns that we had.
So where you sit, you know, you have clients, customers, partners on that one side, and you're trying to take their message, you're trying to craft it for this really critical B2G audience or other audiences in some cases. You know, transparency, accountability are critical in this sector, but you also have to be a good steward of the customer or the client. Like, how do you bridge those two worlds?
Well, that definitely falls within ThunderCat's own messaging. So we always say TCAT stands for T is for trusted, C is for committed, A is for accountable, and the other T is for talented. And we bring in the great talent at ThunderCat so we can achieve the other three. And we definitely want to maintain business with partners that are holding themselves accountable and are also transparent with their customers. So we want to work with the right people that are truly delivering on our message. And like the purpose of ThunderCat is to make the United States a greater and safer place for all Americans. And so we really try to enact that messaging in everything we do, from sales to PMO to marketing, just across the board. So that's kind of how we incorporate all that.
Not unique to public sector, Megan, but data is playing a more and more central role in our work lives, in the way that we execute things. What does that look like inside of ThunderCat? How are you using data to execute strategies?
So we use data in various ways. I mean, it's not just marketing, it's kind of all across the board with our sales teams as well. But we want to leverage the different tools that are out there to study kind of what our customers doing, what our partners are doing, our competitors are doing. And a lot of times we're running around monthly reports right now, tracking all types of social media engagement, where we're interacting the most with our customers, whether that's through social media platforms, whether that's through email, through phone calls. And a lot of the time too, I think people are overwhelmed with the amount of data that's out there.
Yeah.
And so it's very important to kind of keep that organized and be more targeted in what you're looking for. I think sometimes there can be too much out there. And so we try to focus on one sector at a time and really make it specific to what kind of customer we're trying to target and how we can target them the best way.
I have a long history with ThunderCat. One of the first public sector IT TV shows I did was with ThunderCat as a partner. And I remember thinking back to that time frame, like I learned a lot about the company. I was a big fan of the ThunderCats cartoon, and that's where I thought the name came from. But it's really more tied to the company's history of service. Can you share with our audience, make that connection between ThunderCat and service for me?
Yeah. So our CEO, Tom Dearline, served in Baghdad back in 2006, and where he was actually hit by a sniper while over there, and his call sign for his unit that he was in was ThunderCat 6. And so when he recovered from that and started the company, that's how we got our name, was ThunderCat, because it meant a lot to him. And kind of through the development of ThunderCat, philanthropy has always been a big kind of part of who we are. And Tom has his own foundation, but ThunderCat ourselves, we're very connected to the veteran community. And we kind of use that to connect with our partners as well. And we do a big charity golf tournament every year in the spring to give back to a smaller veteran organization that may not have as big of a presence as some of the larger names do. And this will be our 7th year coming up. And so far, we have raised over $600,000 in the past 6 years.
Congratulations. Megan Battaglia, Vice President of Marketing at ThunderCat. Ma'am, thanks for being here.
Thanks.
That was today's 5 questions for GovExec TV. I'm George Jackson. Have a great day.